The Black Conservative Party, there's a new movement now with a lot of black conservatives, whereas you never had that before. So whoever is marketing this idea to black people that they need a black conservative movement is very effective. I know Mr. Trump is a very effective marketer because that is what he does for a living. That is what he was doing before he gets into politics, marketing himself. You know, he's very good at brainwashing, and black people are very susceptible to brainwashing. They are likely to be victims of brainwashing. So there's no way a man can be evidently racist if you need to prove that, then there's 1,000 examples out there. And if anything that have so many examples that can be proven in so many ways, we don't need to prove it, so let's not go there. But the black conservative group are like bullets that are placed inside of a gun. They are not the ones pulling the trigger, but they are the bullets that has been used to do the destruction, to commit the works of destruction. You notice that the black conservative movement is not about blacks. It is about politics. It is about the conservative, the Republican Party. So it is political. The way I look at this is that both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party had been racist parties. And the reason why we know that is that long before the emancipation of slavery, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party had always been there. And both of them had been instrumental in doing what little they could for the black community, and both of them had been also instrumental in destroying the black community. Therefore, the black cause, it is not a political issue. You cannot go to a political party that has caused the problems or has been instrumental in perpetuating the problem for solutions. So when you are running from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, or from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party in search of black reparation, or in search of finding yourself as a black person, or in search of getting which one of them will support you better, you're wasting your time, because the only thing you can accomplish by using a political party is politics. You cannot use a political party, you cannot use a political agenda to accomplish a racial agenda, an agenda that has to do with ethnicity and fixing the problems in a minority group. So when you go on this political rant, talking about what the Democratic Party had not done, or talking about what the Republican Party had not done, you're not doing anything. You're not doing yourself a favor. If you find yourself in the White House as a black person then you're a black man in the White House. You're a black man sitting before the Congress, or a black woman sitting before the Congress. Your only reason to be there should be about an agenda, to get an agenda done. Because what does Congress do? Congress votes. They vote on laws. Therefore, when you sit before the president, I'm talking to right now to those who I see do some things that in my mind, I call it crazy, like Miss Candace Owens, who is a very effective communicator. But she's not doing anything but destroying the very same cause that she claimed to represent. Because when you try to get people to move from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, you are not accomplishing anything but a political agenda. And if neither political agenda have been good for us, because if you're supporting the Republican Party over the Democratic Party, then what you need to do is put forward an agenda. What is their agenda? What are they proposing for the black people? They are not proposing nothing for the black people, and the reason why they are not proposing nothing for the black people is because you brought no agenda to them for them to vote on. So whenever time you come, you appear before Congress, you must already have a written agenda with how this organization is going to work, how this reform is going to work, and what problems are these reforms going to solve. So therefore, that when you get these things signed into law, you have made this reform legal. You have made fixing the problems within the black community legal. So Congress can not only vote to legalize this, but also vote to fund this organization. It doesn't matter what you are, what side you find yourself on as a politician, whether you be a Democrat or a Republican. If you're not there to vote on a reform to solve a problem and to be able to put your money where your vote is to fund this reform, then you're not there for any good purpose. And why is that so? We cannot blame the politicians for the problems that we have been facing in our black community. And the reason why is because everybody who goes before them, aside from Martin Luther King, who bring things in writing, who get things passed, who get things done, there is nobody else. Everybody else is talking on these talk shows, making points of view. They're discussing what the problems are, but they're not putting the problem in writing and said what needs to be done, and putting these ideas together in writing and said, when I appear before Congress, this is what I want them to sign. This is the reform that I'm pushing. Then when the black man goes into the White House, you need to bring your lawyer. Right, your lawyer should be sitting beside you in the White House, because your lawyer is supposed to be hired to help put these things together, put these ideas together in constructive proposal, where you can now have a constructive itemized proposal as to what you're proposing to the Congress and what is going to work. So Miss Candace Owens, you're not doing anything, but I don't know if you're trying to do this for attention, because if you're trying to do this for attention, then you're certainly getting a lot of attention. but you're not solving any problem, because it doesn't matter what you said you are and what your political belief is. It have nothing to do with reality. And if at the end of the day it solve no problem, then we're right back at the same place. So you might say a lot of things, and the white conservatives may listen to it and say, oh, we finally have a black person speaking all these things and advocating all these agendas. All you're doing is helping them. If they don't have anything structural put in writing as to what they are going to do for the black community, I'm saying, let me rephrase this. The Conservative Party, as the Democratic Party, the political party, if they don't have anything in writing as to what they are proposing to help the black community or to deal with the problems of the black community, then there is nothing that is going to be done. So your presence there is obsolete, and it's absolutely unnecessary, because you're not trying to accomplish anything. If you're there to accomplish a political agenda, then it's a political agenda without any basis or without any merit, because the very same party that you're supporting doesn't have a proposal to help the problems that you should be there discussing. If you're there to before Congress talking about black people or about what the other party is not doing for black people, you must be proposing your agenda. You must have your agenda already written and have them ready, trying to get the people on your side to sign for this. If you're not there to get votes on an agenda, on a reform to solve deep problems, because if black people have no problems, then black people don't need to be before Congress, because the only way you're gonna be before Congress is the only way you're gonna need to be before Congress is if you're there to accomplish something. If you're there just to talk, or to make talking point, or to get people to see you, or to get publicity, then you're there for a no good reason. This is a fruitless plan that you have. So you're going in front of Congress and you're speaking, you're saying all these things, but you have no structure. Madam, Mrs. Candace Owens, I just found out about her a couple of days ago, because I never even knew who this woman was until I was watching the Roland Martin show and I heard them mention. So I said, let me go ahead and search and find out who she is. And the first video I saw is that I saw her before Congress. I'm like, okay, this woman is before Congress. Let me hear what is she gonna say, what is she gonna propose, because maybe I might like some of her ideas. She's talking about the problems as to what the Democratic Party had not done, but she have not been proposing to the Republican Party as to what they need to fix. So if you're not there to solve a problem, why are you there? This woman is a distraction. And as I mentioned before, it's not just her. It is the whole so-called black conservative movement that has been arisen. And all of them seems to be about the same thing. You go and you say what the Democratic Party is not doing. So vote for the Republican Party. They're using you to promote a political agenda. So what these black conservatives, what they are bullets that is put into the gun, the Republicans' gun, while the politicians pull the trigger and they come out of the gun as lethal bullets to do the destruction that they come to do. But they are not the ones who are firing the gun. They are being used as bullets to destroy their own race of people. Because if the black race is not united towards a common goal, then there is no way you're gonna solve any problems in the black community. You cannot go in front of Congress without a plan. So that strategy does not work. And this is why what I say is like everybody is talking, but nobody is fixing anything. They keep bouncing from one Republican, from one party to the other. It's like Hitler and Jekyll. Don't you know that the spirits of darkness and that the Antichrist, they use the political parties, both political parties, to carry out their agenda? They have used the Democratic Party to promote same-sex marriage, which I don't agree with. Now they're using the Republican Party to create a divide between the rich and the poor. Do you think this so-called pandemic, do you think this is here for nothing? Do you think that this is not, a part of the plan? You have no idea what is going on in the world. So what you need to do is to get with your own people. Your political ideas might be different from the other person's political ideas. Some may say Democrat and some may say Republican. But neither political points or political agenda solve the problems within the black community. So if you're going there on a political agenda trying to destroy one party to promote the other one, then you're wasting your time. All you're doing is electing one problem over the other. But until there's an agenda in writing, putting there before, if you have if you're able to go before Congress, then you're able to hire a lawyer, even one to read the things, to proofread the things that you have written and to put it in structural form. But at the end of the day, when you go before Congress, you must go with an amendment. You must go with a reform to reform the problems that are in the black community, the disproportionate problems, the discrimination, the injustices. Because if you're not there about that, then your presence is not even welcome. Because you might be there saying black conservative and saying all these nice things, but at the end of the day, you're still a black person, and the white man and the white woman still see you as a black man or as a black woman. And if you're there not defending your own race, then you get no respect from the white man. Because the white man knows that there is racism in America. There is no question about that. So he knows that all the things that you're saying, you're just saying them to gain popularity, or you're just being used as a political tool. I'm telling you, black people, open up your eyes. Don't be like those 10,000 careless Ethiopians who have lost their salvation, who have lost their place in life because they were not paying attention to what they're doing. Please look for a link in this video and please subscribe. Thanks a lot. My name is Delroy Young.